If you'd like to support my channel, consider becoming a patron. $2 gets you access to my videos earlier than YouTube, $5 will get you access to polls that determine my next review or let's play, and $10 gets you direct input into what content I cover. It also gets you extra entries into giveaways, and you'll get to see your name mentioned at the end of every video. If that doesn't do it for you, I have shirts and merchandise on Spreadshirt.com that you can also buy. As always, links will be in the description and the end slate. Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. It seems that these two episodes are probably the finale to Spider-Man Season 1. So, how are they? Let's find out. The finale to Spider-Man is off to a rather decent start with the Hobgoblin Part 1. After the events of the previous arc, it doesn't take much to send Harry after Spidey when he's fooled into thinking he's turned evil, thanks to a little mind control by Doc Ock. And while the various fights throughout the episode, typical of these Sinister Six storylines, were nothing awful, I do balk a little at how they handled Peter versus Harry as Hobgoblin. Not in terms of the action, but the writing itself. Harry was livid at Peter last episode, and even at the start of this one. Enough that, with very little prodding from his sick father, Harry donned the Hobgoblin suit and went to take Spider-Man out. If you're expecting this to play a huge role, it doesn't seem to. Very quickly, Harry learns it's just mind control, and helps his friend snap out of it. And then their friendship seems to, more or less, end up back together again by the episode's end. It's weird to build up this animosity between the characters and not really do all that much with it. Unless Norman breaks the two apart in the second half of the finale, this feels like some cheap writing. There's also the matter of Doc Ock's plan in the episode. Other than roping Peter into his new Sinister Six, Otto doesn't seem to have that much of a plan beyond terrorizing New York City and stealing money. Potentially to fund some project of his? It could get a spotlight in part 2, but as far as this first one goes, it just felt underexplained. This isn't a huge complaint here, but I also don't quite get Ock using the name Steel Spider for one of his minions. Yes, the character does don that mantle in the comics, but he was initially Ock's biggest fan, and thus modeled himself after his idol. He doesn't even look like a spider in the episode. I suppose he had to have a name, and Kid Ock probably wouldn't really make sense, but still it's just something that slightly irked me. Now, everything I just said sounds fairly negative, but the episode itself was fairly entertaining if light on story development. The show's never been that dynamic with its action scenes. The slow motion is overused and doesn't do what they think it does, and the backgrounds during scenes are blurred to compensate for how crappy the 3D models are. But this episode had some good ones. Though I feel like a bit more could have been done to highlight Peter being worn down by the Sinister Five. In general, it's not a horrible start to the two-part finale, and I'll be interested to see how the final episode of the season holds up. What about you? Any thoughts on this episode? Leave them down below. And now I'd like to take time to thank my patrons over on Patreon for supporting me. So, thank you to Yasmin. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to see how you can become a Patreon and get early access to videos and get more of a say in what I cover on this channel, links to my Patreon will be down below. Thanks for watching, and take care.